This story of my son Gabriel inner tubing, and it's going to sound like an exaggeration, but I am trying hard to not exaggerate. Right? So, man, I forget how old he was. I think he was like I don't know, junior high age. You know, 12, 13, 14 years old, somewhere around there. He had his cousin Ellison with him, and we're inner tubing, and um, um, and I would ask the kids, people who I took inner tubing, it'd be like, do you want a 1 to 10? One being just keep me behind the inside the weight behind the boat, and just you know just go mellow, or 10, try your best to dump me. And they were tens. They would just do your worst. And so one thing I would do, I would call it the circle of death. I would just circle the boat, make it where the waves were just gonna come together. Then I'd go out, and then I'd come around, and I'd whip them, so they would go right when the waves were coming together. Not the boat, but the inner tube would go sideways right when the waves were coming together, and you know, and that would oftentimes dump people, set them flying. Well, I'd done that a few times, and varying levels of success, but didn't dump them. I mean, they bounced a lot and stuff, and so it was like the third or fourth try doing this, and the inner tube was the tube was a little deflated. It wasn't like hard, and so a little bit deflated. I think that contributed to what happened, and they just hit just right. I just don't know exactly how they hit, but they just hit just right. And Gabriel, I'm standing up driving the boat, and he got launched, and I'm looking up, watching him go up in the air, just tumbling like a rag doll, and as he's shooting up in the air, and then he comes down, and later on talking to Gabriel, he said he closed his eyes, and he's flying through the air, twisting and flipping through the air, and then he opened them, and he was still going up, and so he closed them again, and then he just waited for impact, and then he finally hit the water. I came around with the boat, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, did I hurt my son? And and he's looking at me. I can see he's looking at me, and I just go, whoa, and he does it back to me, and he smiles and stuff. But there was a moment of like, is he gonna be like mad at me, or is he hurt? And he was fine, but it was it was pretty freaky, and so he pulls himself. Ellison helps him. He pulls himself up on the inner tube, and we do some more. Um, nothing like that one, and never seen anybody get launched like that. And I'm thinking in my head, he went at least 15 feet in the air, which is a lot. And um, we we come in, and to shore, and our neighbor is on his bulkhead, and we get up on the bulkhead, we're talking, and after we're done, and the tide was a little bit out, and across the way is Anderson Island and Eagle Island and McNeil Island. They're like 2 or 3 miles away in the distance, and um, talking to my neighbor, and he goes, he cleared the tree line. I go, what? He goes, I was watching when he shot up in the air. He, like in the distance, you could you could see the islands and the tree line. His body cleared the tree line, was up in the sky. And then he came back down, and I'm like, holy smokes! He cleared the tree line, like so. I mean, so okay. So then along comes this sailboat, going by about out there about where we were, and it goes by, and its mast is barely clear in the tree line, and it's like, well, okay, how tall is that mast? And and he's going, that's got to be 25-foot mast. I mean, we picture, the guy was standing up, and he's like, okay, and just doing his little body, and we both quietly are estimating. It's like that mast is, and then the height, above the boat too, above the water line before. It's like that's at least 25 feet up, and which is totally legit for the mast of a big sailboat, and that was barely clear. That was clear in the tree line, and it's like, and we look at each other. It's like, did Gabriel go at least 25 feet in the air? He goes, yes. He goes, 25 feet in the air. He flew, and so I just unbelievable. I don't know. I just don't know how it happened, but he, no exaggeration, trying not exaggerate. He flew at least, because we were trying to give a low number. He flew at least 25 feet in the air, and I just can't believe it. Anyways, pretty amazing.